Welcome back, America. I'm here with Enes Freedom. We like to call him Freedom because that's what he stands for. He put his career on the line. He's put his reputation on the line. In fact, he's put his life on the line. He is a freedom-loving human being who is a man of the Muslim faith, and he's very appalled by what's going on in the Middle East in the name of his faith. And I want to start, if I may, Freedom, with your home country of Turkey. You know, Ataturk was a great man, and he led Turkey for a long time, and he created a secular society where people of all faiths could live in peace and harmony. Turkey became a member of NATO. It was welcomed into NATO with open arms, set up democratic institutions and so forth. And then there was this little party, sort of an Islamist party, that really didn't know how to work through a democratic system, but knew how to use it to gain power. And that's a long story short on how the current dictator there, Erdogan, took power over the country of Turkey and has no intention of giving it up. And so I wanted to ask you this evening, my friend, he put out a statement to his hand-picked members of the parliament there. And he basically said that Hamas is not a terrorist organization, even though they, by their own definition, claim to be a terrorist organization, and was building them up and talking about how much he supports them, and then trashing the Israelis and the Jews and so forth, while he's giving safe haven to leaders of Hamas. What do you make of this?
You know, first time I actually heard about that news, I literally thought it was a fake Onion news. And I actually watched the clip that you just watched, and I just couldn't believe it. How can a NATO ally can literally just go out there and openly support Hamas and Hezbollah? There are some couple countries out there in the world, like Iran, you know, like Turkey. They are a safe haven for these groups. And they raise so much money with groups like Hamas, for groups like Hezbollah, for ISIS. And actually, these, governments, especially Turkey, gives passport, literally Turkish passport, to these terrorist groups. So, I mean, there have been many times Erdogan has been caught by, sending weapons, sending help to these terrorist groups, not Palestinians, but to these terrorist groups. And one thing that I'm just so shocked with it, that this is a NATO ally we're talking about, And how can a NATO ally, Turkey, says we stand with freedom, we stand with democracy, but at the same time, he goes out there and shake hands with leaders like Khamenei, Iran, leaders like Putin, leaders like, Xi Jinping. And so I'm just very confused. And I don't understand why our administration so soft on these dictatorships out there, especially with Erdogan.
I wanted to ask you about that. Maybe I'm losing my hearing worse than I thought, but I haven't heard Biden or Blinken or Sullivan or any among those trio and others criticize Turkey for giving safe haven to the leaders of Hamas, or for making these outrageous statements on the heels of the slaughter that took place in Israel. Have you heard anything?
Erdogan literally playing West and literally playing America like a cat playing the toy with his toy. Look what happened with NATO and with Sweden. Erdogan literally put in Biden on a conference and say, if you don't listen to what I have to say, I'm just not going to let Sweden in. And Biden is biting the bluff, And no, I have not heard about Blinken or any of the Biden, administration said anything about, Turkey or their wrongdoing. They recently put a bounty on my head. I'm a U.S. citizen. How can a foreign government can put a bounty on U.S. citizen head in American soil? We actually wrote a letter to President Biden. RSC, it's not me. It's 35 congressmen got together and wrote a letter to President Biden and said, this is unacceptable, do something about it. And we didn't even hear from them. So it's just such a shame, because this man is literally, Biden he's supposed to be the most powerful man in the world and most powerful house in the world, but they're literally scared of a dictator like Erdogan. So it's just such a shame because everyone in Middle East is making fun of America right now because of how weak we are.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.